Clemson expected to own the ACC again and compete for a national championship, but the offensive line must do better than in 2020. We got Ryan Cantor on the line from TigerNet to help us break down the trenches with the Tigers in camp. All right, Ryan, let's look at the offensive line. And I would say that this is a conversation we've had a few times through the years. Certainly, the recruiting's been exceptional everywhere, but if there's been a spot where it's maybe been a notch lower than the other positional units on both sides of the ball, it's probably been offensive line. You lose Jackson Carman, who was an outstanding five-star recruit coming out of high school. He will earn a paycheck in the NFL, but didn't necessarily become the dominant force at left tackle that he could have been. And just overall, the offensive line, when you're dominating teams week to week, it doesn't show up. But then when you face an Ohio State, it was definitely the glaring difference between the two teams.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I think the first Notre Dame game as well, it really stood out. Clemson struggled to run the ball, and I think we all know it's not because they lacked talent at running back, where they were deep and had Travis Etienne, one of the 2 or 3 best running backs in the country. So, yeah, it's an area for improvement. They only ranked 83rd, or the interior line only ranked 83rd in run blocking. So it's an area where they could get better. But I think, despite losing Jackson Carman, as you mentioned, as well as Cade Stewart, who was the starting center, I think they're primed to get better. Walker Parks was a true freshman last year. Didn't start, but when he did get into the game, you didn't notice him, which is a good thing. He was rock solid. I think he could immediately ascend to a starting left tackle, or if they want to swap it and put him at right tackle. I'm very optimistic about Walker Parks. Jordan McFadden, the right tackle from last season, he was actually Clemson's best offensive lineman per PFF rankings. Another guy you didn't notice because he didn't make many mistakes. So I think the Tigers should be solid once again at tackle. And on the interior, they have Will Putnam, who was good in pass blocking. He was a big recruit, was supposed to go to Florida State in that same class that Sam Howell, the quarterback, was supposed to go to Florida State. And that recruiting class sort of fell apart for the Seminoles. So big recruit. I think he's not. He's back. I think we're going to see progress from him. And then at the other positions, just the more experience, as well as having some great recruits coming in this year to push them, I think Clemson should be better on the offensive line. They're traditionally very good at pass blocking, and they were quite good at pass protection, pass blocking this past season. But where the improvement needs to be is in run blocking. I think we see that. What the question really is will they improve to the point where this is a national championship caliber team or not? So I think that's probably the biggest question as we enter the season.
And to your point about it showing up statistically beyond just the advanced metrics, as you pointed out, but in yards per carry, Travis Etienne was vying for the best mark in the history of college football going into his senior season, and then he drops all the way to 5.4 when he was in that stratosphere of close to 8 yards per carry for his career, and that's not Travis Etienne becoming a worse running back. That is some of the issues that you pointed out. Lynn J. Dixon as well, during our running back video, you pointed out his numbers being much better in previous stints.
6.1 yards per carry to only 4.5 last year for Dixon, and I don't think it makes a ton of sense to say, well, he got worse. I think more likely it was struggles with the run blocking of the offensive line,
and especially with Etienne with a sample size of 400 or 500 carries.
Yeah,
no question about that.